Okay, we're going to continue on in our Father's Word today. This is Hosea 9, verse 3. They shall not dwell in the Lord's land, but Ephraim shall return to Egypt, and they shall eat unclean things in Assyria. They shall not offer wine offerings to the Lord, neither shall they be pleasing unto him. Now Ephraim was the largest of the 10 northern tribes, and they were taken by the Assyrians, and they were sold into slavery. Most of them were sold into slavery to the Greeks by the Assyrians, but they took them to Assyria first. Now, Assyria was Nineveh, Mosul, Iraq of today, northern Iraq, and the Assyrians were the first ones to learn how to use agriculture and irrigation and how to farm and how to make enough food for a bunch of people. And so Assyria, Nineveh, was the first great city. So that's how the Assyrians had a 20 square mile city, Nineveh. And we're going to read about Jonah and the big fish story. It's coming up. That's one of the 12 minor prophets, Jonah. And they shall not offer wine offerings to the Lord, neither shall they be pleasing unto him. Their sacrifices shall be unto them as the bread of mourners. All that they eat thereof shall be polluted. For their bread, for their soul, shall not come into the house of the Lord. What will ye do in the solemn day, and in the day of the feast of the Lord? For lo, they are gone because of destruction. Egypt shall gather them up. Memphis shall bury them. The pleasant places, for their silver, nettles shall possess them. Thorns shall be in their tabernacles. The days of visitation are come. The days of recompense are come. Israel shall know it. The prophet is a fool. The spiritual man is mad. For the multitude of thine iniquity and the great hatred. The watchman of Ephraim was with my God. But the prophet is a snare of a fowler in his ways, and hatred in the house of his God. They have deeply corrupted themselves as in the days of Gilboa. Therefore he will remember their iniquity. He will visit their sins. I found Israel like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first type in the fig tree at her first time. But they went to Baal Peor and separated themselves into that shame. And their abominations were according as they loved. As for Ephraim, their glory shall fly away like a bird from the birth, and from the womb, and from the conception. Though they bring up their children, yet I will bereave them, that there shall not be a man left. Yea, woe also to them when I depart from them. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place. But Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. Give them, O Lord, what wilt thou give? Give them a miscarrying womb and dry breast. And all their wickedness is in Gilgal. For there I hated them. For the wickedness of their doings, I will drive them out of mine house. I will love them no more. All their princes are revolters. Ephraim is smitten. Their root is dried up. They shall bear no fruit. Yea, though they bring forth, yet will I slay even the beloved fruit of their womb. My God will cast them away, because they did not hearken unto him, and they shall be wanderers among the nations. Ephraim ended up in England, mostly, and the Commonwealth, the British Commonwealth, Australia, New Zealand, all the Commonwealth of the British. And Manasseh ended up in the United States and Canada. George Washington, Ben Franklin, Paul Revere, and all those people that signed the Declaration of Independence. Master builders. Yep, master builders. All of them. And then the tribe of Reuben, the oldest son of Jacob, ended up in France. And the rest of the 7 tribes, of the 10 northern tribes, the other 7 ended up, most of them ended in Poland and the Ukraine. And that's where they are today. Now, this is Hosea 10. Israel is an empty vine. He bringeth forth fruit unto himself. According to the multitude of the fruit, he hath increased the altars. According to the goodness of his land, they have made goodly images. Their heart is divided. Now shall they be found faulty. He shall break down their altars. He shall spoil their images. For now they shall say, we have no king, because he feared not the Lord. What then should a king do to us? They have spoken words, swearing falsely and making a covenant. Thus judgment springeth up as a hemlock in the furrows of the field. The inhabitants of Samaria shall fear because of the calves of Bethaven, for the people thereof shall mourn over it, and the priests thereof that rejoiced on it, for the glory thereof, because it is departed from it. It shall also be carried unto Assyria for a present to King Jareb. Ephraim shall be received shame, and Israel shall be ashamed of his own counsel. As for Samaria, her king is cut off as the foam upon the water. The high places also of Avon, the sin of Israel, shall be destroyed. The thorn and the thistle shall come upon their altars, and they shall say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us. O Israel, thou hast sinned from the days of Gilboa. There they stood to battle in Gilboa against the children of iniquity, did not overtake them. It is my desire that I should chastise them, and the people shall be gathered against them, when they shall bind themselves into their 2 furrows. And Ephraim is as a heifer that is taught, and loved to tread out the corn. But I passed over her fair neck. I will make Ephraim to ride. Judah shall plow, and Jacob shall break his clods. Sow to yourselves in righteousness. Reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord, till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Ye have plowed wickedness. Ye have reaped iniquity. Ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didn't trust in thy ways, and the multitude of thy mighty men. Therefore shall a tumult arise among thy people, and all thy fortresses shall be spoiled, and Shalman spoiled Beth Arbel in the day of battle. The mother was dashed in pieces upon her children. So shall Bethel do unto you because of your great wickedness. In a morning shall be the king of Israel utterly be cut off. Now this is Hosea chapter 11. When Israel was a child, then I loved him and called him my son out of Egypt. As they called them, so they went from them. They sacrificed unto Balaam and burned incense to graven images. I taught Ephraim also to go, taking them by their arms. But they knew not that I healed them. I drew them with cords of a man, with bands of love, and was to them as they that take off their yoke on their jaws. And I laid meat unto them. He shall not return unto the land of Egypt, but the Assyrian shall be his king, because they refused to return. And the sword shall abide on his cities, and shall consume his branches, and devour them, because of his own counsel.